Hello students, the following video is designed to show you the basics of SketchUp. The very first thing that you will need to do is find the SketchUp software. There are two places that it would be located. The first place is located on your desktop, and it says SketchUp 2015, and it is a red icon. The second place that it is located is under Start, All Programs, and you will need to probably scroll down and find SketchUp 2015. Click on that button and then find the red SketchUp button. Throughout the course of this video, if you find that I am going too fast, I would recommend that you pause the video, do whatever I showed you to do, and then resume the video. After you have clicked on the icon or found SketchUp under the Start menu, you will need to open up the actual SketchUp software. In this class, you will always click on Choose Template, and we always work in Architectural Design, Feet and Inches. So make sure you find Architectural Design, Feet and Inches, click on that, and then click Start using SketchUp. What it should do is it should pull you to a page that looks something like this. The purpose of this video is simply to show you all of the tools and what their functions are, and after I've shown you all the tools, then I will introduce you guys to the projects that we're actually building. So SketchUp is a three-dimensional software, and it allows you to draw three-dimensional shapes. The very first tool that I would like you to find is the Orbit tool, and the Orbit tool is located on the top of your panel. If you click on that and you click and hold your mouse, you should be able to change your view quite easily. The next tool that I'm going to introduce you to is the Rectangle tool, or the Shape tool. In this case, I want you to click down on the circle here and click on Rectangle. One thing you will notice is that there's an R located next to it here. If on my keyboard I simply hit R, it'll automatically change the Shape tool to a rectangle. Next to the man or the woman's foot, I want you to simply draw a rectangular shape. And the way that I did that was I clicked the mouse, I held it down, and I let go. The next tool that I'm going to introduce you to is something called the push-pull, which is located right next to the rectangular/circle tool. If you click on this shape, what this allows you to do is either to pull the shape upwards or push the shape downwards. Go ahead and pull up one of your rectangles and make it about the same height as the man. Now, go back to the Orbit tool. Click on the Orbit tool and rotate your view, and practice once again with the push-pull tool. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to pull the face of our cube out until it is right flush with the edge of the line there. We'll use the rotation tool again, change our view, and now I get to show you the next tool. The next tool that I'm going to show you is the Erase tool. Located right next to your mouse button here, there is an eraser. If you click on, for example, a part of your shape, it will erase part of that shape. Now, let's say, for example, that you accidentally erased our man there. If you want to undo what you just did, you can either hit Control Z on your keyboard, or what you can do is go to Edit, Undo, Erase. And if I go Edit, Undo, Erase, and do that twice, as you notice, I have been able to bring my shape back to what it was before. Now, if I want to erase just one little piece of a drawing or a design, what I need to use is the Select tool. Select tool is located right here, and in this example, let's say that I wanted to erase just that line. If I select that line and it turns blue, Then what I can do is go back with my eraser and I can just erase just that line. If I want to erase more than one line, what I can do is click my mouse, I can hold it down, and I can erase that part and that part and that part. On to the next tool. Let's say, for example, that on my cube here, I want to put a hole in it. Okay, I could use my pencil tool, and one thing you'll notice is here as I hold it down the bottom, how it says on edge. That means that the pencil is drawing from the edge upwards. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to pull my pencil straight up. If you will notice right here how the line is blue, that means it's perfectly vertical. Okay. If I move it from side to side, you notice how the line is black. That means it is not vertical or straight up and down. So I'm going to draw a blue line, and then I'm going to go horizontally. Once again, notice the color. Green means it is on the horizontal axis. And then I'm going to draw another line down to on edge. So that was 3 clicks. Next, go back to your push-pull. Push it in just a little bit. Select the shape inside and erase it. Whoops, that did not work. Let's try that again. Let's try using the rectangular tool. If I do the exact same thing right next to it, push it in just a little bit, select the shape, and delete it. I must not be selecting everything. Okay. So what you need to do is actually select the shape and hit the delete button. The delete button is located on your keyboard, and it is to the right of the backspace button. So one thing you notice is that I now have actually 2 holes in my, let's say, a house shape here. If I wanted to zoom in, I can actually go inside of my house, and I can also move around side to side inside of my house. The next tool that I'm going to teach you guys how to use is actually not located on your top toolbar. What you're going to need to do is you need to go to View, Toolbars, and you're going to need to click Large Toolset. And you'll notice is that as I click Large Toolset, I have a bunch more tools that appear on the side here. Hit Close after you have the large toolset. And let's say, for example, that I want to look around. If I'm inside my building, I can use the eyeball here, and I can actually, once I'm inside, I can look around inside of my building. Now, I want to figure out exactly how big my building is. If I click the 3 button here, what I can do is I can click here, and click here, and if I pull sideways, you'll notice how it says it's 5 feet, 5 inches, and 3/8 of an inch. I can also use the tape measure if I do not want this to stay here. And let's say, for example, that I wanted to measure how far it was from right here to right here. If I go back to the tape measure, I click, pull it sideways, click it, and you'll notice that it says 12 feet, 4 and 1/16 of an inch big. Go back to the orientation tool and change your view once again. And we are going to draw another rectangle. But this rectangle is actually going to be a very specific size. So I'm going to click my rectangle tool again. I'm going to draw a rectangle. One thing you'll notice is that there is some dimensions down here. You cannot actually click here, but if I type in 7 with a little asterisk, that means 7 feet by, which is a comma, 6 feet and I hit enter, what happens is I now have a shape which is 7 feet by 6 feet. And I can double check that with my measuring tool. And you'll see that that dimension right there is 7 feet. And that this dimension right here is 6 feet. If I want to make my building a specific height, let's say for example when I pull it up, as you notice the top is actually colored. If I were to hit 10 feet and hit enter, that is exactly 10 feet. If I want to do it in inches, then what I could do is actually pull it out, and if I type in 10 and I do 2 little marks down here, okay, that actually signifies inches. So once again I'm going to pull it out by, let's do 10 feet, 10 inches, hit enter, and one thing you'll notice is that I've just expanded my rectangle by 10 feet, 10 inches. There are hundreds more tools on the sides here. Perhaps the one more that's the most fun is the paint bucket. If I wanted to paint my roof, I can go to the roofing, and as you notice I'm able to paint the roof. If I wanted to paint the sides, I could do that as well. There are lots and lots of different options here for you to use. That is your basic crash course in how to use Google SketchUp. You will be able to build most things with that. I would encourage you guys just to play around with all of the buttons that I have not yet discussed. And as you go through the tutorials, you will find out, for example, what the freehand line does, or, for example, what the rotate tool does as well. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.